6. You're listening to the news at dawn, brought to you by EBS Radio. My name is Osatohane Usunde. First, the headlines. Nigeria's headline inflation moderates in June 2025. Edo State's Independent Electoral Commission announces date for conduct of elections of chairmen and councillors. Edo State Police Commissioner moves to check kidnapping in Agenabode and environs. Orders deployment of armed security agents. For the news in detail. The headline inflation for June 2025 moderated to 22.22% compared to May 2025 headline inflation rate of 22.897%. And this disclosure was by the National Bureau of Statistics on Wednesday, and according to the latest Consumer Price Index report released by the Bureau, the year-on-year figure reflects a 0.75 percentage point decline from the previous month and a significant 11.97 percentage point drop when compared to June 2024, which recorded an inflation rate of 34.19%. The decline in annual inflation is being recorded against the backdrop of a rebased index with 2024 as the new base year. A month-on-month basis inflation rose slightly to 1.68% in June compared to 1.53% in May, suggesting that while the pace of price increase is slowing on annual basis, prices are still rising faster from one month to the next. The Consumer Price Index rose from 121.4 in May to 123.4 in June, indicating persistent price pressures, especially in food, transportation, and housing. Through the food inflation rate stood, and though the food inflation rate stood at 21.92% year-on-year in June, a sharp drop from 40.87% recorded in June 2024. The Federal Executive Council will on Thursday hold a special session to honor the late former President Muhammadu Buhari. A special advisor to the President, Bola Tinubu, on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, disclosed this in a statement via his official X handle on Wednesday. The presidential spokesman stated that the session will be presided over by President Tinubu. The announcement comes after the regular FEC meeting scheduled for Monday was postponed to allow the President and members of his cabinet attend Buhari's burial in Daura, Katsina State. The Federal Ministry of Education has launched a national policy on non-state schools in Nigeria. The policy aims to standardize and improve the quality of education in private and mission-owned schools. And EBS correspondent Henrietta Mamadou tells us more about the event held in Abuja this Wednesday.
President Bola Tinubu submitted the names of the nominees of the Regional Development Commissions in May 2025 to the Senate. The Senate, in approving the nominees, did not confirm Tijani Kaura, a nominee for the South-South Development Commission. Kaura was not cleared due to his failure to appear before the committee for screening and to submit required documents. Senate committee chairmen of the different commissions presented their reports during plenary.
Screening exercise, the committee hereby recommends Senator Olubami Adebumi as chairman, Dr. Charles Akiola as managing director, Honorable Chimudum Chairman Rivers was cleared and recommended for Senate confirmation.
Apologies for that. We continue with the news at dawn. Going right back into the details, the federal government on Wednesday forecast potential flooding in 38 locations across 11 states. It warned that heavy rainfall from Wednesday, July 16th to Sunday, July 20th, 2025 could trigger flooding in the 11 states. The alert issued by the Federal Ministry of Environment through the National Flood Early Warning Center under Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management Department was signed by the Director of Department, Usman Bukhari. States expected to be affected by the prediction include Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Borno, Bauchi, Plateau, Yobe, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Cross River, and Zamfara. Earlier, the federal government initiated the establishment of the National Flood Insurance Policy as a proactive measure to address Nigeria's growing vulnerability to flood disasters. And during the opening of the Technical Committee meeting on the development of the National Flood Insurance Policy and Implementation Framework in Abuja in June, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Environment, Mohammed Kambri, described the rise in flood incidents across the country as a national emergency that demands immediate and decisive action. The federal government has pledged to end Nigeria's dependence on fish imports by boosting local production and empowering young people and women with start-up grants in fisheries sector. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adigboyega Oyetola, made the commitment on Wednesday in Abuja during a consultative meeting with fisheries and cooperative groups. He outlined the government's vision to transform aquaculture into a pillar of food security, employment, and export competitiveness. And according to him, Nigeria needs to chart a new path towards achieving self-sufficiency in fish production, and reaffirmed that the administration was committed to empowering youth and women with multiple initiatives already underway. Edo State Independent Electoral Commission has announced Saturday, July 11th, 2026 for the conduct of elections of chairman and councillors of the 18 local government areas of the state. The Commission's chairman, Jonathan Aifubaka, announced this during a press briefing this Wednesday at the Commission's office in Benin City. And EBS Lucky Binaba reports.
Owing to obvious reasons, the local government election fixed for April this year was postponed by the electoral body, ESEC. With ESEC rescheduling the election for January next year, the chairman, Accord Party and leader of Inter-Party Advisory Council, Honorable Ambassador Joseph Omoregbe, noted that they were not carried along when the election was first shifted, but however assured that his party was fully ready this time around. On his part, the chairman, National Rescue Movement Party, Chief Sam Arase, was opposed to the date, but stated that NRM remains a party to beat. To a very large extent, I want to thank them for deeming it fit again to tell the grassroots that they are ready to conduct free and fair and credible election in Edo State with a view of announcing political party activism in the state. Not in particular about local government. Now that they've come up with a blueprint, they were fixed January 14th for the election. From adopting the National Rescue Party movement, we are prepared. While expressing concern over the primaries initially conducted before the February postponement, the chairman, Young Progressive Party, Honorable Dr. Roya Otasuye, was confident that YPP would excel at the polls if conducted. Also speaking, the chairman, Zenith Labour Party, Dr. Bishop Ahalane, urged ESEC to ensure that the January 2023 election was conducted freely and fairly. The local government election that is coming up January that was the statement that was released by the grace of God, we are fully ready. With the Young Progressive Party, YPP, Edo State chapter, we are fully ready. We are prepared to participate in the local government election. On the area of the primaries that were conducted before is what I'm appealing to ESEC chamber to look into it. We pray that we will follow the timetable to the letter. We are ready. Despite political parties, Pastor Musayibo Agbadonoye, was optimistic that truth will be reached before the D-Day, while Mr. Obomo Richard Igbeneja remarked that victory is only guaranteed when all reefs are laid to rest.
The moment a contest is fixed, they will get back on board and
The upcoming launch of the new Edo line has generated significant excitement among small and medium-scale enterprises with the operational vicinity. Despite the postponement of the launch due to the passing of the former President Muhammadu Buhari's business owners remain optimistic about the potential impact of the new transport system on their businesses. Business correspondent Wisdom Moibe was there to share their excitement.
transport is expected to improve connectivity and accessibility in the state, potentially increasing traffic and customer flow for local businesses. Small businesses in the operational vicinity are likely to benefit from the enhanced transportation infrastructure, which could lead to increased sales, improved logistics, and expanded market reach. Some business owners praised Governor Monday Okpebholo for the revamp of the transport service, expressing excitement while speaking with EBS News.
We have got the business different ways because the more population will come here, the more people will come here. The more people will come here, the more different transactions will go for this place. I thank Governor Okpebholo. I beg everybody for those states all over Nigeria. Not that people they enter motor for a day line now, because I don't like we don't do Okpebholo. Do governor, he could work a day line. If this people don't know business, go consider move the grow and go improve our business because the place go pull well. So over the first one we hear us now, I told her the one book we're very happy. If they come now, you put a busy well, my business gonna move well. The people when we just find out the lights, if the lights stay here. The security here they go come.
However, these business owners also express challenges and seek urgent government intervention.
So we boost our business. Now we see the pledge of the government may help us to sponsor so that we will feed the same. And with the pledge it also may not drop us after they don't do the new dollar. If they feel allow the shares small. Fruit, right from the morning of fruit now they say. Plus I said they put the Adoma for your people for those states now. They bring lights now. So if they say this one they say maybe you have to move food, if you just shift out to evening, if light there, then the market will they move well for us. If they go apply because lights now we not do lights. If they go now there. After that the people say at least I want 12 o'clock because if you like them now. People don't know where time go, so everywhere they go. As you can see, the people are so excited about the new dawn in Benin City. The new Edo line is here. The business owners are happy, and they are also appealing to the government to create stuff for them so that their business can improve. From the new Edo line terminal, Wisdom Omoigbe reporting for EBS News.
On Star Times, Channel 113, GoTV, Channel 141, and Terrestrial, Channel 45. For the latest news and information, be sure to visit our website at ebsng.com. Join the conversation and listen live. ebsng.com/radio. Subscribe to EBS on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X at EBS Benin. And this news is reaching you live from EBS Radio, Benin City, Edo State. Still to come. Oyo State Police Commissioner Monday at Monica has ordered the deployment of heavily armed security agents to Akinbury and Florence. Details of this are the reports after the service
Edo Broadcasting Service, 95.7 FM. News.
5 years remembrance in loving memory of our mother, Mrs. Mercy Izebua Eyobone Aigbovo. It's been 5 years since you left us, yet your love still echoes in our hearts. Sometimes we still find ourselves waiting for your daily phone call. You never missed a day, always checking in, loving voicemails and texts. If we didn't answer, your voice, your prayers, your words of encouragement, they were our daily strength. You were more than a mother, you were our friend, our anchor, our safe place. Your faith in God, your kindness and your sacrifices continue to inspire us. Though we miss you deeply, we know heaven gained our beautiful soul. Mommy, your memory is a treasure, forever loved, forever missed, and forever in our hearts. Lovingly remembered by your husband, children, grandchildren, family, and friends. Continue to rest in perfect peace.
Every Sunday at 8 p.m., tune in to From the Calvary, where powerful messages and sermons from the pulpit are brought directly to you, right from the heart of the church to the comfort of your home. Churches and ministries, here's your chance to share the word with a wider audience at a moderate and affordable charge. For more details, contact the commercial department at Edo Broadcasting Service at Duawa, Benin City, or call 0802-893-6697. From the Calvary, let the message be heard. Broadcasting Service, 95.7 FM. News.
Welcome back to the news at dawn. Going right back to the details, the State Police Commissioner Monday Akponika has ordered the deployment of heavily armed security agents to Agenebode environs. The move is to check reported cases of kidnapping and armed robbery in the locality. And Defense and Security Correspondent Festus Alanghe brings us the details.
Lately, there have been reported cases of armed robbery and kidnapping in Agenebode and environs. The locality shares boundary with Ida in Kogi State through the River Niger. Consequently, it was revealed that in most cases, kidnapped victims are usually taken through the River Niger, where ransom negotiations are opened to effect the release of abductors. Some gunmen were alleged to have stormed Immaculate Conception Minor Seminary School in Agenebode, where they killed the security guard and kidnapped some students. As at present time, the students are yet to regain freedom. The situation moved the Commissioner of Police Edo State, Monday Akponika, to visit the school, where he assured the management of renewed effort to rescue the kidnapped students. Edo State Police Relations Officer Moses Yanu said tactical commanders and men of the Mopo 60 have all relocated to the bush in Agenebode to rescue the kidnapped victims and lords. CP Monday Akponika FDC visited Agenebode in company of the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Department of Operations, the Commander at Kidnapping, the Commander 60 PNF, as well as the Area Commander Agenebode for on the sports assessment of an incident which happened on the 10th of July 2025, where some gunmen attacked the Immaculate Conception Junior Seminary in Agenebode, where unfortunately one civil Nigerian officer of the Nigerian Civil Defense was shot dead, while 3 students were unaccounted for after the incidents. The Commissioner of Police commiserated with the Catholic Diocese of Auchi the family of the civil defense officer who paid the supreme price, as well as the entire community over the incident, and had ordered the immediate deployment of tactical teams, including the anti-kidnapping units, in conjunction with other security agents, to work in synergy with other security agencies to ensure that these assailants were arrested and brought to book, and to also ensure the safe return of the three unaccounted students of the Catholic seminary in Agenebode.
The police and the management of the Immaculate Conception Seminary School at Agenebode have appealed to the family members of the kidnapped students to be calm as strong efforts have been put in place to rescue the children unhurt. From the headquarters of the Edo State Police Command in Benin City, Festus Arenke, EBS News.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has disclosed that Nigerian Air Force is set to significantly expand its aerial fleet with the acquisition of 49 state-of-the-art aircraft by the end of 2026. He disclosed this on Wednesday while speaking at the opening of the 2025 Aircraft Engineering Conference held at the NAV headquarters in Abuja, themed Enhancing Aircraft Serviceability in the NAV through strong maintenance culture and strategic partnerships. According to Air Marshal Abubakar, the expected additions include 3 CASA 295 air transport aircraft, 10 AW-109 Tracker Type B helicopters, 12 AH-1Z attack helicopters, and 24 M-346 fighter aircrafts, all of which are high-tech platforms requiring advanced and sophisticated maintenance procedures. This upcoming acquisition comes on the back of the delivery of the 15 brand new aircrafts in the last 2 years, including 6 T-129 ATAK attack helicopters and 2 AW-109 Tracker Type A helicopters, 3 Beechcraft King Air aircrafts, and 4 Diamond 62 reconnaissance planes. The Amnesty International Nigeria has condemned the recent deadly attack in Plateau State, calling it horrific and shameful display of the government's failure to protect lives. The attack, which occurred on Monday in Bindi Jebu of the Tahos community in Riyam local government area, claimed the lives of at least 27 residents. According to Amnesty, in a post on X on Wednesday, entire families were deliberately targeted, locked in their homes and killed, and those who tried to flee were reportedly gunned down. The international human rights group strongly criticized President Bola Tinubu's government, accusing it of falling short on the promises to curb excessive killings in the country, particularly in Plateau, a state that has endured a long string of attacks on rural communities. And the groups demanded an impartial investigation into the latest killings and accountability for those responsible. It also called for urgent reforms to prevent such violence from reoccurring. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has said it will appeal the judgment of the Federal High Court in Lagos, which on Wednesday, July 16, 2025, discharged and acquitted a former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, of charges bordering on money laundering. The ruling delivered by Justice Chukwujeku Aneke cleared Fayose and his company Spotless Investment Limited of an 11-count charge brought against them by the AFCC. The charges originally filed on July 2nd, 2019, alleged money laundering and theft of 6.9 billion naira, but Fayose, who served as governor between 2003 and 2007, and again from 2014 to 2018, has consistently maintained that his innocence since the charges were brought against him. Reacting to the verdict, the AFCC, in a statement on Wednesday set by its head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale, said it is currently studying the judgment and has begun the process of filing an appeal. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Federal Capital Territory, on Wednesday graduated 250 of its personnel who successfully completed a 5-week training in sign language. The graduation ceremony held at the NSCDC Command Headquarters in Abuja marked the step forward inclusive and people-centered security service in the country. The Commandant of the FCT Command, Olushola Odumosu, described the initiative as a monumentous turning point in the Corps' ongoing commitment to bridging communication gaps and promoting inclusivity in the sector. The Lagos State Government has announced plans to reinstate psychiatric assessment for traffic offenders within the state. The Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Shola Giwa, disclosed this during the official presentation of a communique from the second Lagos Traffic Conference held on Wednesday. Giwa said the decision followed strategic discussions and key recommendations aimed at enhancing traffic management and road safety across Lagos, noting that the recommendations were designed to improve LASMA's effectiveness, mandate and moral standing. He explained the measure align with previous road safety strategies to instill discipline and deter errant road users. The news at dawn. Apologies for the grave mix-up with the reports. But before we go, here's a look at some of our top stories. Nigeria's headline inflation moderated in June 2025. The State Independent Electoral Commission has announced date for the conduct of elections of chairmen and councillors. The State Police Commissioner has moved to check kidnapping in Aganabode and environs and ordered deployment of armed security agents. Once again, thank you for listening to the news at dawn. My name is Osato Mamedu Sunday. Good morning.
Service 95.7 FM News.
People set between Edo State government and kidnappers. Plus all those where they help them do bad things for those state. Caterpillars go bulldoze any house or community where kidnappers they hide people where them kidnap. Then go learn new things. As government don't make open law for kidnapping matter, who gets here making take them here? If one they kidnap, they try plan to kidnap, they borrow phone to kidnappers, or let them collect ransom. If government babu now, not a prison matter at all. So therefore, if one are here, see or know where kidnappers they do their rural business, just run or report them to government before they come to the portal. Even self now so they sentence the wait gidigba. So people where carry courtesan matter for head, they buy people anyhow for the state. If no sponsor of courtesy you be, not 21 years for prison. Those where they keep them for house go collect 10 years for prison. Say no to kidnapping. Say no to courtesan. And don't forget to report any rural or Kokerewaka to government. This message now from Edo State government too. Because
95.7 FM. EBS. Hit music. Here now. Closer to your radio. 95.7 FM.
This is Jersey Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, what's up? This is Ludacris.
What's up, y'all? This is Nicki Minaj. Hey, I'm Ariana Grande. That's Cardi B. What's up? It's Megan Thee
Yeah, listen to 95.7 FM, a star station.
You're not leaving. Neither is the bus. And that guy tried to sell you a car charger you don't need. You're stuck in traffic. And we're stuck with you. Welcome to Drive O'Clock, the show that understands your traffic pain and makes it funny. We've got gist, real talk, community buzz, and just enough drama to keep things spicy. So if you're gonna be stuck in traffic, at least be stuck with the best crew on radio.
This one, Drive O'Clock, with DPO of the airwaves, Sadiq the power, and it reach you live from 95.7 FM Benin, EBS Radio. If you touch the dial, you go clever.
Drive O'Clock, every 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Weekdays on 95.7 FM, EBS Radio.
look into a mirror to see others. We use it to see ourselves. Most of all, the Bible reveals me to me. When we read in the Bible about the sins of others, we cannot help but become more aware of our own sins. When we read in Genesis chapter 3 of the temptation of Eve, can't we see our own daily temptation and weaknesses? The resulting soul searching is the mirror effect of the Word of God. Sometimes we need a comparison to be able to view something in perspective. Thus, a tree which seems small when seen at the foot of a high cliff shows the enormity of the cliff's height. So, let's measure ourselves. We behold him, even Jesus. Hebrews chapter 2 verse 9. What do we see when we look at Jesus in the scriptures? Peter wrote, who did not sin, neither was he found in his mouth. Who, when he was revealed, revealed not again. When he suffered, threatened not. 1 Peter chapter 2, 22 to 23. The scripture adds that Jesus was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 15. That is our comparison. How do we measure up? We hide behind the excuse that we just can't keep all the commandments. But he did. Thus he proved that we can. Our pride is plain. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Romans chapter 3 verse 23. We still try to kid ourselves that we don't really sin that much. But God answers. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves. And the truth is not in us. 1 John 1:8. This is not an impersonal, I can't help it kind of thing. If we honestly look at ourselves, as the Bible reveals us to ourselves, we must say with David, I have sinned. My sin is always before me. 2 Samuel chapter 12 verse 13. And Psalm 51 verse 3. When we look into the Bible and see ourselves as we are, it isn't pretty. Obviously, changes are needed. The Bible shows what we can be. A look into the mirror each morning would do no good if we simply turn away and did nothing. But changes are possible. Whiskers can be shaved. A dirty face can be washed. Hair can be combed. And spiritually, the sinner can be cleansed by the blood of Jesus Christ, which God provided for that purpose. If we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Jesus, his Son, cleanseth us from all sin. 1 John 1:7. We cannot devise a cleansing agent that will take away sin. Only the blood of Jesus will do, because while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Romans 5:8. The Apostle Paul writes, by grace have you been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8. We cannot be saved by our works and goodness. Only by the grace of God can we be saved in Christ. Just looking into a mirror doesn't change the face, and just studying the Bible does not change the life. Notice again, that be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, believing your own selves. James chapter 1 verse 22. Jesus is still asking, why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things that I say? Luke chapter 6 verse 46. We can change by the power of the Lord if we will submit to him. Christ is author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Hebrews chapter 5 verse 9. And Peter wrote, ye have purified your souls in your obedience to the truth. 1 Peter 1:22. When we see in the Bible God's mirror for us, what we should do and do it, he saved us. James 1:25. God shows clearly in the Roman letter the pattern of how we are saved by the grace of God. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood. Being justified by faith, we have peace with God. God commended his love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God by the death of his Son, much more, being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. Are ye ignorant that all we who were baptized into Christ, Jesus were baptized into his death? We were buried therefore with him by baptism into death. Romans chapter 3, verse 23 to 25. By the grace of God, Jesus died for our sins, shedding his blood to cleanse us. Hebrews chapter 2 verse 9 and 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 18 to 19. We read of God's love and his commands for us, and because we trust, we do what he says. That is the way we become new creatures in Christ. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17. Being buried with him by baptism into death and raised to walk in newness of life. Romans 6 3 to 4. What kind of life results from the grace of God in our lives? God replies, be not fashioned according to this world, but be ye transformed by renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. That transformation is possible only as children of obedience. 1 Peter chapter rest of the world. As we learn and do, we become more like Jesus in discussing the proper attitude with which we study God's word. Paul wrote, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are transformed into the same image from glory to glory. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 18. There it is. By the grace of God, we can be like Him. The Bible shows what we will be. The Bible is a mirror that reveals what we are and what we can become by the grace of God. But that mirror also reveals what we will be when we face God in judgment. If we are hearers only and not doers of His word, then there remaineth no more a sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful expectation of judgment, a fierceness of fire which shall devour the adversaries. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 26. If we journey through this life doing our own thing and ignoring His will for us, we can only expect Him to say at the judgment, depart, ye cursed, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. Matthew 25 verse 41. The Bible is given so we can know that. The Apostle John writes that God is light, 1 John 1:5, and that His children walk in the light and are thus cleansed by the blood of Jesus. Verse 7. He then adds, hereby we know that we know Him if we keep His commandments. 1 John 2:3. We can know whether or not our lives are pleasing to Him, for the Bible is given to us for that purpose. And what assurance we have when we walk in the light. The blood of Jesus, His Son, cleanseth us from all sins. These things have I written unto you, that ye may know that ye have eternal life, even unto you that believe on the name of the Son of God. 1 John 1:7, 1 John chapter 5 verse 13. Too many have the idea that they can never be sure they are saved. How ridiculous can one know that is lost? Yes, because the Bible reveals it. In the same way, the Bible reveals it if we are in a right relationship with God. Just as 1 John 5:13 states, just as surely as we can know we are lost, we can also know we are saved. The Bible is the mirror of the soul that reveals our standing before God. God promises a day of judgment when each of us shall give account of himself to God. Romans chapter 14 verse 12. You don't have to wait until then to know your state with God. He reveals it in that mirror of the soul, His book. Study it for yourself. Know your spiritual state as He reveals it in His word. Put your trust in Him and do what He says, and you can be confident that He will say, enter in, good and faithful servants. Before we draw the curtain for today, we will quickly discuss briefly on what a listener sent in recently. He asked about 1,000-year reign and rapture. 1,000-year reign and rapture. The idea that Jesus Christ will return to earth and set up a kingdom on earth over which He will reign for a literal 1,000 years is just not found in the Bible at all. Neither is the idea of the rapture that is commonly taught today, because neither of these concepts is found in the scriptures. They contradict clear and simple passages and concepts found throughout the Bible. When false teachers devise doctrines that oppose Bible teaching, we must rebuke such and point people to the truth. The 1,000-year reign idea supposes Jesus Christ is coming back to earth to set up His kingdom and reign here on earth. But Christ is not coming back to earth to reign, not for 1,000 years, nor even for a moment. He is reigning in His kingdom now. As in Adam all die, so also in Christ shall all be made alive. Then cometh the end, when He shall deliver up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when He shall have abolished all rule and all authority and power. For He must reign till He hath put all His enemies under His feet. The last enemy that shall be abolished is death. See the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, 22 to 26. When Jesus returns, the graves will all be open, and the kingdom which now exists will be delivered up to the Father. The Apostle Peter refers to numerous prophecies about the Christ on the day of Pentecost, Acts chapter 2. He showed that the Christ was to be the seed of David, verse 25, was to be raised from the dead, verse 27, to sit on David's throne, verse 30. Peter then said of God, He, foreseeing this, spoke of the resurrection of the Christ, that neither was He left unto Hades, nor did His flesh see corruption. This Jesus did God raise up, whereof we all are witnesses, verses 31 to 32. According to prophecy, the Son of Man received the kingdom when He ascended to heaven. Daniel chapter 7, verses 13 to 14. Acts chapter 1, verse 11. Not when He returns. He already had all authority in heaven and on earth. Matthew 28, verse 18. Before He went back to heaven 2,000 years ago. Now the issue of rapture. The concept of the rapture was dreamed up by J.N. Darby
Consider this one Road Junction, off Cypress Road, box 189 Benin City. You can as well call the evangelist of the church at the following phone numbers: 080 5610 6357, 080 5610 6357, or 080 3064 9672, 080 3064 9672. You can study more about the Church of Christ on the website www.cocsampleroadbenicity.org, www.cocsampleroadbenicity.org. Do we see to worship with the Church of Christ nearer to you, and the Lord keep you in good health till we come your way again. Thanks. Bye for now.
Jesus is calling, calling, calling. Jesus is calling today.
In a movie, neither is the bus. And that guy tried to sell you a car charger you don't need. You're stuck in traffic, and we're stuck with you. Welcome to Drive O'Clock, the show that understands your traffic pain and makes it funny. We've got gist, real talk, community buzz, and just enough drama to keep things spicy. So if you're gonna be stuck in traffic, at least be stuck with the best crew on radio.
This one Drive O'Clock with DPO of the airwaves, Sarikin Talakawa, and it reach you live from 95.7 FM Benin, EBS Radio. If you touch the dial, you go clever.
Drive O'Clock every 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Weekdays on 95.7 FM EBS Radio.
Good morning, Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria, the world. It's another beautiful day. It's another beautiful Tuesday. I'm gonna keep my reggae and my blues parallel.
Tuesday and Thursday.
You see, and they're mixing up again. You see, this day has been a very, very beautiful day. It really has. I do miss Tuesdays, but I miss Thursdays even more because I wasn't around yesterday. I went to rest. But yes, we're here again. It's another beautiful day. St. Patrick just walked in as well. We've got a weather girl here also, but let me greet everyone.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Benin City.
Desmond.
Good morning, AJ. Good morning, Benin City. Good morning, Nigeria.
St. Patrick.
Prior to the weekend.
Alright, good morning, everybody, and good morning, Team EBS. Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning. Weather girl.
Good morning, my people. How you doing?
Yeah, we're doing great. It's another day. It's a morning drive, and we're going to be looking at the papers. But before we go on, big news. Atiku got, he left the PDP.
For the third time.
What do you mean for the third time?
Yes. Yes, the PDP.
Okay.
Leading PDP for the third time for Atiku Abubakar is a politician, and he believes he can move anywhere to get a ticket. And
then again, it goes to show that they're not really for the people. It's just for selfish
Yeah,
interests.
it's not stable. The stability is not there.
what do you mean by he's not for the people? He's willing to serve the people. He wants to serve the people. And he wants to serve Nigerians, and that's the reason why he's moving from.
He's changing vehicle. It's still the same drive.
That's why he's jumping from one place to another.
Alright, so that was one of the big stories that happened yesterday. I'm sure they're going to be riddled in the papers, but we're going to go straight into it. Let's go straight into the news. Oh, I forgot the weather, girl. My reggae and my blues.
I'm looking forward to Afri letting us know the weather, because I'm putting on in white pants, so I want to be sure I'm safe
You're
today.
safe today, I'm sure.
I'm not sure.
Because pretty much this week has been a Sunday week.
I just assumed.
I'm morning too. I'm morning Nigeria. I'm going to let presidents.
But basically, Nigeria Nigerians, take note because, as a matter of fact, we just had to enjoy, grace from Sunday till date. But happily, I say happily because we need the rain still. We need it, whether you like it or not. It's gonna rain today. Yeah, but not so much. So it's gonna rain in Benin City, Asaba, Enugu, Port Harcourt, across all of the cities here listed. Ikeja, Akure, Ibadan, Jos, Abuja, and Jalingo. But we'll have little sunlight during the week for Asaba. We'll have sunlight there on Friday, in Port Harcourt Friday, Ikeja today and Friday, Akure partly today, Jos Saturday, Abuja Saturday, and Jalingo Saturday. So brace up because, as a matter of fact, you will get to enjoy the sun again. So, but for now, try as much as possible to take caution because the road is definitely going to be wet soon. We enjoyed the dry nature of the weather, of the road from Sunday to date. But today till Saturday, we will experience the rains again. So take caution.
Alright, so that's what's happening in the skies. So yeah, St. Patrick is not really safe, is he?
It's safe to an extent because we're in black.
First of all, the sand is red. So you know what happens when water touches red sand? It becomes so hard to wash out sometimes. But yeah, so that's what's happening in the skies. And we're going straight to the newspaper headlines. I've got the Punch newspaper right here. I've got some interesting headlines as well. We have the 2027 tensions, Buhari CPC bloc may dump the APC, and that's what's headlining the Punch newspaper right here. Let's go into that story. The death of former President Muhammadu Buhari has reignited speculations about the political future of his loyalists, particularly those from now defunct Congress for Progressive Change, the party founded in 2009. Since the emergence of President Bola Tinubu in 2023, the influence of CPC loyalists has waned, with some key figures such as ex-Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai and former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, openly opposing Tinubu's potential second-term bid. So you can read more about that on the Punch newspaper. Still, Atiku's PDP exit sparks firestorm. Firestorm. So now we've been having, what's so funny? I find it so funny because they've been having like natural disasters we're trying to use to describe this, the tensions. We had the hurricane, now we're having the firestorm, the tornado, yes, and the firestorm. I wonder what's next, the earthquake. Well, anyways, going back to this headline, we have 2027, Atiku's PDP exit sparks political firestorm. To go into that story, the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party have dismissed former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's resignation from the PDP and his move to the coalition platform, the African Democratic Congress, that's the ADC, to challenge President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 election and posing no threat. And in a letter dated the 14th of July 2025 and addressed to the chairman of the SWORD, Jada 1 in Adamawa State, Atiku formally announced his resignation from the PDP. Since 1999, Atiku has left the PDP on 3 different occasions, each time further his presidential ambition. Alright, you can read more about that story there. But yes, so
That shut-up is not complete. The guy just said, and yet has not been able to achieve it.
Well, let's see. Well, again, we've got Suleiman and Lena in the building. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're still looking at the newspapers, and let's keep it going. Insurgency, NAF to acquire 49 new fighter jets. And that's a good one. The chief of air, hold on there, trying to get it up. The chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has disclosed that Nigerian Air Force is set to expand its aerial fleet with the acquisition of 49 state-of-the-art aircraft by the end of 2026. He disclosed this on Wednesday at the opening of the 2025 Aircraft Engineering Conference held at the NAF headquarters in Abuja. And the conference was themed Enhancing Aircraft Serviceability in the NAF through strong maintenance culture and strategic partnerships. And according to the Air Marshal Abubakar, the expected additions include 3 CASA airplanes. I think I went a little bit into this if you listen to news outline. That's the CASA 295 transport aircraft, 10 AW109 Trekker Type B helicopters, and of course many more other.
Well, my question to ask is, are these fighter jets, are they really functional? Because like US fighter jet and bomber jet, they're actually functional. But what do we use ours to do?
Well, it does help. Combing the skies to check
Or we just
for...
possessing them and not using them?
Yeah, it does help. I believe these specifically helicopters, these ones are made for landing in this kind of terrain, forest terrain.
We have been unable to curtail the whole insurgents issue.
It does help. It begs for questioning because we still see just a while ago, Benue was burning, as it were, and we have fighter jets, and then not up to the 49. They are saying they're going to expand it before maybe by the end of 2026. But the ones we have now, what are they using it for? That's the question. So, and that's why Belema is asking if actually they are working, even if they are up to 100.
Well, anyway, I think if we're weighing on this, well, it's okay for someone to be a pessimist. You can be pessimistic concerning things because security-wise, maybe we're not doing enough. But again, if you keep in mind, remember, as journalists, we've seen the Air Force have what we call being accused and also sometimes owning up, having what they call, some bombings, aerial bombings in air where civilians have been killed. And so it beats me when someone here, in this case, is asking if those choppers are actually working. Well, I think there are better ways to actually critique or criticize a nation. Yes, if you remember now, we purchased the Tucano from the United States. I think 12 A-29 Tucano jets, which we purchased. They were light attack kind of aircraft or choppers from the United States. The sale also includes some munitions, training and support. And I remember what we spent at that point in time. So, and every time and any time we have that synergy between the area and the land, we always do well. So that's why my own take here is, have we lost the synergy? Is there some kind of, superiority contest, within the military? In this case, the Army, the Air Force, or the Navy. So this is the time for us to be talking about bringing back synergy. We saw that with the last, the Army chief who died in the aircraft, in the air crash. And now these young ones here, we're hoping to see that something magical, something substantial is, gotten from them. But yes, to answer your question, yes, the choppers are all working, and we've seen some relative success and mistakes as well in the area bombing, which, if you ask anyone in military operation, that's what they call, what's that thing again? Collateral damage. I was looking for that phrase. There's no operation that you're not likely to have collateral damage.
Alright, still, looking at the headlines, the federal government suspends recruitment into paramilitary agencies and reopens portals on the 21st of July. The federal government recruitment into paramilitary agencies reopens portal on the 21st of July. The Civil Defense Correctional Fire and Immigration Service Board has temporarily suspended its recruitment application portal to improve system efficiency. The Secretary to the Board, Major General A.M. Jibril, retired, made this known in a statement on Wednesday in Abuja, and he stated that the suspension affects the portal dedicated to the recruitment of the personnel into the board's parliamentary agencies. You guys can read more about that in the Punch newspaper. Let's see here. Any other interesting headlines? The federal government... Alright, we have 151 top police officers under investigation, says the MPF. Let's see what that's about. The Nigerian Police Force has announced that 151 senior officers are currently facing the force's disciplinary committee over various allegations of misconduct and professional infractions. The disciplinary proceedings, which began on Monday, the 14th of July, will run until Friday, July 25th, 2025, at the IGP Smart Conference Hall force headquarters in Abuja. And according to a statement on Wednesday by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the move was to enforce internal accountability and reinforce professional standards. He said the officers drawn from various commands and formations across the country were being subjected to a thorough and transparent review process in line with existing police regulations and disciplinary procedures. And we see that internal investigations are ongoing. For those who cry that the police force have been unjust or are unjust or have done you wrong, there's some internal reviews going on, and I believe if this 151 is quite a number, and if they are under investigation and found wanting, then I'm sure, the proper remedy for that will be meted out. Alright, going on, we have one killed as speeding driver rams into Ogun motorcyclist, still speeding. Alright, I think I'm done here. We have Dangote saying that Nigeria should be generating 60,000 megawatts of electricity. And let's see, his claim is president of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, says there is no justification for Nigeria's low power generation output, arguing that if his conglomerate alone can produce over 1,500 megawatts for internal use, then the country should be generating far more. Dangote made the remarks during a recent tour of Dangote's refinery in Lagos, where he highlighted the company's expanding energy footprint and called for deeper private sector involvement in power generation. So we're going to be seeing a revolution of the power sector by...
It goes to show the level of wrath in the system of the power generation.
Okay.
Rotting. There are rots in the system, because if Dangote, like he said, if his conglomerate can generate just 1,500 megawatts, I wonder what is happening to the generation, transmission, and the distribution. Generation from time to time, they're trading blames amongst themselves. This says the problem is from here, this one says the problem is from this one is from here. At the end of the day, we the citizens will suffer and pay for even what we do not consume at the end of the day. So it's sad, it's a shame that Nigeria at this time we do not have stable and steady power supply.
Alright, for those of you just joining us, welcome. It is EBS Radio and it is the Morning Drive. We're streaming live on EBS Benin. Go watch us on YouTube / on Facebook. So we're heading over to the Daily Person newspaper. This morning we have striking headlines. One is coming from Presidency. Presidency plans special fete to honor Buhari. Presidency plans special fete to honor Buhari. And we have something coming from Atiku in politics. Atiku obsession with presidential ambition knows no sympathy. This is coming from Keyamo. He's saying that Atiku's obsession with presidential ambition knows no sympathy. Would you agree with Keyamo on this one?
I've said it off the mic that Atiku is just for self-aggrandizement, for selfish interest. I do not think it means well for someone that has been spending billions of naira 2007, 2011, is back and forth. So you think if that man gets
so because of his rotation, he means no wealth.
He does not mean well for Nigeria.
Okay.
Let's be candid. We know how some of these our politicians, we know how they do. At the end of the day, when he loses, he goes back to Dubai. And people, when later again he comes back again and buys off candidacy and all that, But if he wants to vie for the presidency, why not? He has all the right.
Let's quickly go on a short commercial.
Yes, well, MTN is doing a thing with the MTN Mega Million promo. Plenty of Nigerians are winning big, and you could be next. You don't even have to call MTN to claim your prize. If you're the winner, they'll call or text you directly. So keep an eye on your phone because your number could make you richer. Every weekday at 7 p.m., loads of Nigerians are getting the chance to win with prizes up to 5 million daily to 10 million naira weekly. And plenty of other cash prizes. anyone could be the winner. It could be you. It could be me. I won't tell you if it's me. But to join, simply dial star 900 hash on your MTN line. Then every recharge of 100 or more will earn you more points and boost your chances to win at 7 p.m. And that's yellow o'clock. And if you don't have an MTN line, well, you should go out and buy one ASAP, because this promo won't wait for you. While I'm talking, I just recharged my phone again because it's, it's still early in the day. But if you can't recharge by 5 p.m. or if you charge after 5 p.m., don't worry about that, because your points will count towards your chances for the next day. So don't miss out on your opportunity to win big. The MTN Mega Billion promo ends on the 21st of September, so go make the difference with your recharge today. You might just win big in the MTN Mega Billions promo. So of course, T's and C's apply as terms and conditions, and visit mtn.ng for more details.
Alright, moving back to Daily Post newspaper, we have still an Atiku situation. Atiku resigns from PDP, says secession is heartbreaking. Okay, so Atiku resignation letter was dated July 14, 2025, and addressed to the PDP chairman of his ward in Jada local government area of Adamawa State. He disclosed that the PDP has diverged from its founding principles, and later his sign reads, "I am writing to formally resign my membership from the People's Democratic Party with immediate effect, and I would like to take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude for the opportunities I have been given by the party. And however, I find it necessary to part ways due to current trajectory the party has taken, which I believe diverges from the foundational principles we stood for." So he's saying he left PDP because it has left. It's not doing the principles he believed the party was, built to.
For the third time, he always have reasons of leaving PDP. Coming back again, thank God I'm back home. Anytime he comes back to PDP, PDP is home. Like I said, Atiku is just trying to, trust me, I always say, and I know this for sure, I don't believe Atiku can wrestle power with APC or the Bola Tinubu that we have right now.
Okay. Moving away from that to national stories, we have NNCDC CG raises alarm over asymmetric warfare and destruction of national asset. NNCDC CG raises alarm over asymmetric warfare and destruction of national asset. He's saying that there have been ranges of illegal oil bunkering to vandalism of critical national asset and infrastructure across the country. And also we have a striking news. Former Super Eagles coach Monday Sinclair is dead. Former Super Eagle coach Monday Sinclair is dead. We have something coming from Plateau State. You have failed Nigerians. Amnesty blasts Tinubu government over Plateau killings. You have failed Nigerians. Amnesty blasts Tinubu over Plateau killings.
So don't forget, you can leave your messages on our WhatsApp number, 0904-436-2225. Let your reactions start pouring in. You can send a message there. We'll read it. We'll make sure we do that. We're still looking at the newspaper headlines right here. We got the dailies. I just got done with the Punch. And, of course, Sugar Baby just got done as well. We're moving over to the Vanguard newspaper right now. Yes. So the different headlines here. We're going to it. Still on Atiku's exit. And it's saying the exit won't affect our fortunes. And that's what Makinde and Bode George is saying. Atiku's exit won't affect our fortunes 2027. Alright, still we have Shatima, Atiku Obi, Kinyebe, Rada, Zulum, El-Rufai, and others pray for Buhari in Dara. And also we have here, operating environment remains harsh. Businesses are groaning, and that's what NICA and the NLC are saying. Let's go a little bit into that story. We have, against the backdrop of some improvements in some macroeconomic indicators, the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, NECA, and the Nigerian Labour Congress have expressed concerns that the operating environment is still adverse while sustaining pressures on average Nigerians. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics has released the latest composite consumer price index indicating that inflation declined for the third consecutive month in June, showing a 22.22%, while foreign exchange rate hovered at around 1,520 to $1 following a sustained recovery of the local currency in recent weeks. Apparently, referencing the impact of the both economic indicators when they were still at an all-time high, the two bodies said businesses and workers are still on the brink of collapse. And they added that poor policy implementation and growing insecurity in the list of crises facing the economy, stating that businesses are under siege. And you can read more about that there on the Vanguard newspaper. Still, we have best online casinos in Australia. Okay, no, we're going to read that. Still, we have NAF to acquire 49 new aircraft. We read that in the earlier newspaper. 100,000 Imo youths to benefit from Uzodima's digital leap with Unicornophonia. That seems like an interesting one. In order to position Imo State as a global technology powerhouse, the governor, Hope Uzodima, has launched ImoTalentHub.com, Africa's first state-backed digital talent market space. The platform connects Imo's growing pool of software engineers, data scientists, and designers with employers in the global innovation hubs like Lagos, London, Dubai, and Silicon Valley. It's interesting. The initiative is part of the governor's flagship Skill Up Imo program, and it's developed in partnership with the University of California, Berkeley, and the U.S. Market Access Center. I think that's a good one for, especially connecting our software engineers with Silicon Valley. That's interesting. Still, moving on, education is not enforcement, key to tax compliance. That's what the FIRS is saying. What else do we have here? Any other interesting headlines on the Vanguard? Not really. So yeah, I'm done with the Vanguard newspaper. And,
so anyway, I think let's start off by talking about Atiku. And for me, Atiku is someone, I don't feel for Atiku, I only feel for the PDP. And basically, it is because the PDP has been so used. When you say you used me, maybe in a relationship, and you're so angry, you say, you used me in this relationship. The PDP is that person who's been so used and dumped. And I think that the PDP should sue all these people and say, well, you broke my heart, you tore my heart into shreds. And it didn't start with Atiku. It started with President Obasanjo. I was so very much on national television when, I think it was in February of 2015, when I watched Obasanjo, utter shock when he tore what? He tore the PDP membership card. His PDP membership card, he tore it into shreds. So that's the beginning of the end of PDP. So everyone had always used this PDP. For those who are very familiar with the transportation system in a place like Benin City, there's a kind of bus, a minibus we call Tuke. So PDP used to be this very luxury bus, but now it looks like Tuke. They just jump in and they jump out, and it's not too good. So I think every PDP member should be angry with President Obasanjo, whom the PDP, first it started with the PDM, the People's Democratic Movement of late Yoruba, and when President Obasanjo came out of prison, how he was prepared for that, position, and how he rode on the back of the PDP to become Nigeria's president after being a military, head of state. And now we have someone who also was a part and parcel of the PDM. That's the body that ultimately metamorphosed into forming the PDP, talking about Atiku Abubakar. Because at that point in time, many had touted that Atiku would have been the candidate of the PDP, but because of the June 12, 1993 pain that was still in the heart of Nigerians, they wanted to assuage the pains of the Southwest, and they felt that since MK Abiola wasn't allowed to become president, having won that election, let's look for another Yoruba man to be the candidate of the PDP. So that's the story for those who are trying to play catch up, and for those other Gen Zs who are not following that story at that point in time. But the truth here is that PDP has been so used. And Atiku is coming back. Atiku has done this back and forth like a yo-yo. That's not the first time Atiku left the PDP. Yes, so this is the third time Mr. Atiku is leaving the PDP. It speaks a volume of the kind of politics the very senior citizen is playing. Is it the politics of selfishness or politics of nationalism? I'll leave you to be the judge.
Okay, moving over to the Sun newspaper, we have interesting spicy headlines here. We have this one coming from federal government. Federal government vows to end fish importation to boost local production. Federal government vows to end fish importation, boost local production. And for politics, INEC warned political parties of dangers in submitting candidate wrong particulars. INEC warned political parties of dangers in submitting candidate wrong particulars. And still on the Sun newspaper, we have something coming from Enang. NIMN boss. It says there's a reason why many small medium enterprises collapse because of due to poor marketing. So this is why many small medium enterprises collapse due to poor marketing.
Well, I'll look at it from the fishery aspect, which is a good one. And I'll say, well, it didn't quite start with the government, even though now the government is saying we're going to support you. You know, we've always had ingenious Nigerians who go all out to eke a living and do it the right way. We woke up someday and we started seeing quite a handful of young people going into fishery. They were able to dig up, their own fish pond, go into learning the art of fishery, getting fingerlings and all that. Also learning how to also inject some of the fingerlings. They did all that by themselves and they were very prosperous. But now that the government is saying that, look, well, this is an intentional move to see how we can help in that business, I want to say for those who are into the business, I should first approach. I don't have the details to see if there is a helpline or call line for these fish farmers to reach the government on. But it's also something that I also think that the Edo State government should also latch on to. We used to be very big. You remember when I was telling the story of the new Edo line, traversing Edo North, going to Abuja and all the northern parts of the country. There's this popular stop around, some parts around the Akeneboda area, or you go to Okene area and you see some of the most amazing, fish produce there. But it's not enough to mouth this, and it's also not enough for us to listen to it and not take action. So young Nigerians, especially if you're a fish farmer or a prospective fish farmer, this is a time for you to seize the moment and see what the government has for you.
Alright, and one of the striking headline we have too on the Sun newspaper, we have something coming from politics. Calls for new constitution reverberate again. Call for new constitution reverberate yet again. Let's get more insight into that. Eminent Nigerians, including former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Anya-Oku, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tabua, and former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Victor Atta, will be of Onitsha, and others have called for a total overhaul of the 1999 Constitution, emphasizing that it was an instrument of the military and its component do not blend with the democratic principles.
Well, I think these are also a bunch of selfish Nigerians. They had the time, they had a moment. Thanks to the very senior Emeka Anyaoku, but for Obasanjo, for Tambuwal, who was also speaker, they had a moment, they had a chance to tweak, rejig, rephrase, whatever name you want to use our constitution, but they never did because it suited them at that point in time. Now they are in the cold and they now feel what the everyday Nigerian is feeling. They are now Messiah. So their messianic call for the rejigging of the constitution should be ignored. We should listen to other Nigerians who have been pushing for this. Yes, they shouldn't come and ride on the back of what Nigerians, the everyday Nigerian, has always tried to champion. So we know what we want and we'll keep pushing for retweaking, rejigging, rephrasing for our constitution to better reflect a people's constitution, not the kind or the type that these ones will want. At the end of the day, if you don't look at the fine details, it's just to better suit them. So it's a shame, Desmond. You and I have been in this country. We've seen this before. Yes, Samuel has been governor. He's been a speaker. He couldn't change it. Now he's been in the court. He's speaking.
In 2014, when the then president Jonathan organized the confab, it was an ample time and opportunity for a overhaul and change of the Nigerian constitution. But we never saw it come to play at the end of the day. And we had all the Tambuwals, the Obasanjos, they were all in that confab. So why didn't they make it happen at that time? Why now? You know, like you said, Sulai, young Nigerians have been clamoring for this. It is not their call. It is not their shouting now that I'm not saying, it is what OBJ said, it is what Tambuwal said.
They should sit in their place. They should just sit in their place. Hold the remote to your television and watch and see how the young people do this. But again, speaking of front page news, I want to bring on one of the front page big news on EBS, and it has to do with the chief imam that was kidnapped, the chief imam of Burundi Central Mosque, Imam Mohammed Murtada Obahubo. He has been speaking, and we expect the police commissioner and his spokesperson, Mr. Yamu, to speak, and EBS is still trying to reach out to them to give their own version, because the gentleman has said, well, as against what the police said, that, hey, we freed the imam, we rescued the imam. The imam said, no, la. You did not free me. I paid money, 6.5 million. So the police in Edo State need to come clean on this. We reached out to the imam. He declined to speak on camera, but he spoke to us, and he said, I paid money, not 1, not 2, not 5 million, not 6, but 6.5. So the police, Edo State, Mr. Yamu and your guys, we need to find where this big gist is coming from. Did you rescue him, or did he pay money, and as they were about to free him, you now also rescued him? Who did you rescue? You need to come clean on this. And it's something that robs, the mud on the police, integrity and trust. Every now and then we talk about don't pay ransom, don't do this, and the other time you remember General Siga, the NYC former Director General, they had to create a WhatsApp group, and all the former generals and his friends, they all rallied. They were contributing money to free the general, a retired general, a man who superintended over the NYC. And when you say do not pay ransom, this is to the IG and his team and everyone listening now, what do you do to ensure that these people truly will not pay ransom? And when people pay ransom, is it that, well, you've not been able, in the face of cyber security, you still have not been able to put some chips on those naira that can help you track and trace where these people are? I need them to speak on those, but in this first one, it's on Edo State Police to tell us, is Imam lying? So that we can say, Akuzubillah, Imam, what is this? Or is the Imam saying the truth? So that we say, Subhanallah, police, tell us the truth.
Alright, I think it's time to throw up on the phone line. I see some of you trying to reach us here already. It's 09044362225. Also, that doubles as our WhatsApp number, and you can leave your messages there. We'll be sure to read them.
Okay, we have some messages here. This one coming from the so it says, good morning, EBS. Let's have patience to notable. We try patient is the key to Mount Kind. This is coming from the so although we could not comprehend. Still coming, still more text. We have Mr. Odaru. Good morning, EBS family. Please, Nigerian Air Force should stop deceiving themselves and Nigerians. Why are they not using our Tucano jets and all the jets to fight bandits and SWAT fighters? This is coming from Mr. Odaru. And we also have something coming from Raf. from GRA. He said, good morning, Iroko AJ. The symbolizes A for Apple and J for Joe. You have dynamic vocals. There's no iota of doubt you are the Iroko of EBS that have gazetted by the Elder Council. This is Ralph giving you so much help.
Yeah. Thanks, Ralph.
And also we have something coming from audio from Benin City. He said, good morning, EBS Radio. If one of your radio crews said Article decamping to other party is for self-aggrandizement, what will he call that if Peter Obi would have a DNA of power greediness? Thumbs up to Governor Bebelo for tackling security, hell long for going to their hideout to arrest those miscreants. That's coming from audio from Benin City.
I believe that's the recent, what I say.
They are more popular for kidnappers, cultists, and drug peddlers, and drug addict dealers, as it were. It's a laudable welcome.
So what's your reaction?
Good morning, Mr. Markwe.
Could you speak up? I think your phone shifted a little. You can call us in, the numbers are still the same, 0904-436-2225. Also, like I did say earlier, that doubles us our WhatsApp number, you can leave your messages there. Very good morning to you too, sir. What's your name, where you calling us from?
This is Pastor Joshua, isn't it?
Happy morning. Pastor Joshua, good morning. Good morning. I'll be quick, Pastor. Come on.
Good morning.
that line. I don't think that's true. We're not directly generating electricity into, their households. We just sell them gas. And that helps, in their electricity sector. I just want us to, just understand that part, All right, Pastor Josh. Yes, thank you so much for that reaction. We're going to keep it moving here.
I've been in the power sector, and I quite appreciate what you just said to him, because that's the truth. But again, if you look at it, if you stretch it, yes, it will seem that, yes, we give them electricity. If you sell natural gas with which they use to generate, and you have it here, why is it that the Gencos here, when they generate, and, they give to the discos, the transmission. Let me tell you how it works. We have three units, and all three units used to once upon a time be under the good old NEPA. So you need to generate, then you need to also transmit. From the transmission, it gets to the discos, the distribution. And there's always been this talk of it's not enough. And when it became enough from the Gencos, transmission started saying that the discos don't have they don't have the equipment, the capacity, that's the word, to take the power that is being given, transmitted to them. That when they give them the power, sometimes they reject the power, and that thing comes back. It's like a sword. It comes back and it destroys, and we hear stories of what's that, in grid collapse. So the thing here is that some discos have worked on building their capacity. For instance, Eco Disco. For instance, in Ikeja Electric. For instance, AEDC, Abuja Electricity. The others, trust me, they're struggling. BDC is struggling. The one in Ibadan, I think they just sold it recently, is also struggling. So the investors, not all of them actually invested in what they bought or what they inherited, making it almost impossible for them to give the necessary service. So as I just said, we give natural gas to Ghana, and guess what? They do well with it.
Yeah.
So that's very important that we establish that they do well with it.
The Ghana, Benin Republic, and Togo, these countries.
I've never seen a Father Christmas or Santa Claus. By the way, there's a difference between Father Christmas and Santa Claus. I'll tell you that.
What's the difference?
Oh, you want to know? Yes. Father Christmas, there's a difference between Father Christmas and Santa Claus. Father Christmas, you pay to see Father Christmas, and it gives you something of less value. Santa Claus gives you without you paying to see Santa, and Santa gives you something that is invaluable. So, now you've learned something. You pay me for that. So, know where you go to. So, we keep giving, and we can't take care of ourselves, which is bad.
All right, let's see who's on the line. You can send your messages in 0904-436-2225. Hello. Zion. Yes, you are. Yes. Good morning. It's all of us. It's AJ, it's Sugar Baby, it's Lai, Desmond, No, Chris is not in the studio. He's not on duty today. Yes. It's a newspaper review. Wow. Okay.
Don't worry, you load off. You listen to us on the radio, so you catch it.
He has to listen to us on like piece of radio.
You listen online.
He's an ardent listener to this program, but I think he's not been in Benin for a long time.
Okay, you know him?
Yes. He's been here for ages, for over 10.
Wow.
Yes. I know him.
So again, you can listen online, absng.com/radio. It's very simple. Once you search all that together, you just just see a play button and you press it. It's just very simple.
He just have ABS number on his phone, but I don't think he can really see what it is.
For everyone who
It's somewhere outside a network of any call from abroad.
okay, I think this one is not other people. But anyways, let's see who's on the phone lines. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, good morning.
On the line.
All right, USA. Let's have it.
My brother, if Nigerians lie, let them review the Constitution 100 times. The issue is this. When there is no patriotism, forget anything we call national development. There is no way America could have been the greatest without the Americans loving their country first. When you love your country, you are ever ready. The discomfort of self and make your country comfortable. This is the very secret of American greatness. At a tender age, you are ready to work hard at any level to do anything that will encourage the greatness of your country. Go to Nigeria, provide what you find. As I grown up, if my ambition is not over, I have to go to school, get a certificate, get a house, buy a big car, fly police, your neighbors. Do you know who I am? I can deal with you with your primitive wisdom. We are well educated and enlightened individuals who are always interested in that which we know. We promote the interests of your fatherland. We don't have that in our country, the answer is no. So where do we go from here? So when we are talking of the revival or reviewing of the Constitution, we should be talking of how to also review our mind as far as Nigeria is concerned. We don't start loving this country, making every route to war become a walkover. But this is where the problem lies. A leader who believes in his country cannot wake up and run to another country for help or medical treatment. A person who loves his country cannot be dreaming of running away when there are national challenges, because when the country was built, it didn't run. Now that we have our challenges, we must come together and solve the problem of our nation. When your wife runs away when you are facing challenges, what is your natural reaction when you see your wife is wicked? In the same way, when citizens and people run away when the nation is going through challenges, it's an evidence of patriotism. There is no way in the world don't have challenges. Civilized people will always come together and find a solution. And this is how they triumph over failure and evil. And this is the story of all successful countries in the world. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you and God bless you. All right, so you can call us up still. The reactions are coming in. One more call and then we'll jump into the world of sports. AJ Sports is right here to give us all we need to know. Hello. Final call, Ralph. Good morning. Ralph, good morning. Say sweet words this morning. You're making me blush.
Wow.
Let me excuse myself. A man making a friend of mine blush. I'm out of here. You guys have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I didn't hear that.
Auntie, you are back again.
I didn't hear that.
You say Auntie is making you blush too.
All right, Bishop, let's go.
True.
are some interesting news happening on the sports front. AJ Sports is right here and he's going to let us know anything about it.
Yeah, good morning and very, very interesting. World of sports. Welcome again. It's Thursday. Most times it's always called a throwback Thursday. Yeah, I think for throwback today, we'll recall we're talking about a game between Nigeria and Senegal in Ghana, Nigeria 2000. when Ghana co-hosted with Nigeria, Senegal was a very important game, and we played that game. I think in the quarterfinals. Yeah, Senegal was still recall one of the most famous Senegalese side, the likes of Fadiga, Cisse, and Henry Camara. A lot of these guys were unsung, and it was Fadiga who scored first, I think about the 6th minute of the game, and to break the home fans Nigeria house. But later in the game, some substitutions were made with the likes of Julius Agarwanda. Julius Agarwanda came in the second half in the 63rd minute thereabout, and everything changed, and Julius Agarwanda scored some few minutes before the game ended, and when he reached right time and he scored again. We recall also JJ Okocha getting a red card in extra time, and the game ended 2-1 in favor of Nigeria. That's our throwback for today, and that is how we run into sport. Some come here in Celestia, let's come here, Majesty, but I'm here, but just sports, and we roll this morning. Yeah, we'll be talking about first. We'll be taking our plane down to Ghana, talking about the Waffle B tournament that's currently going on for the under-20 boys, and we have been seeing some mesmerizing football. Yesterday, Ghana won their game 1-0, very hard end, but that gave them the passage to qualify to the semi-final. We recall that Nigeria already qualified some few days back after they defeated the boys from Benin 4-1, and it was really a fantastic performance from Nigeria boys. And now Ghana has now progressed with them, and it's going to be another very exciting one for Group B. But for Group A, we have Nigeria because the Group A features just 3 teams: Nigeria, Ghana, and Benin Republic. And Nigeria have 4 points, Ghana 4 points, and Benin 0 points. While for Group B, we'll see Ivory Coast leading the pack with 6 points, and Nigeria Republic with 3 points, Togo 3 points, and Burkina Faso no points after just 2 games. The top 10 will be played today, and we know who will progress and who might just be avoiding. But Ivory Coast as it stands lead the pack. Then I think there's no way Ivory Coast will be playing against Nigeria. So there's a very final for the Flying Eagles. Yeah, we'll know also that yes, the quarter-final stage of the Waffle, the Waffle senior football when it comes to women, it's currently going on in Morocco also, and we know that the Super Falcons will be playing against Zambia, a very, very tough opponent, and it's going to be a massive game in that encounter. Okay, let's just also quickly let you know, big congratulations to all Chelsea fans as they are still basking in the euphoria of winning the first expanded FIFA World Club Cup. The likes of Elvis is really still in a very enjoyable state, dishing out all the praises to Chelsea. Called me to say Chelsea, they are the biggest. But congratulations to you, Elvis, and also with us Pasong enjoying the win, and also Mr. Musa. All these guys are enjoying the win. They say Chelsea is the best club in the world, and big congratulations to them and all Chelsea fans worldwide. Let's just dive into the world of transfer right now. Very big huge one rumor that is going on. Yesterday we hear a surprise inquiry coming in from Liverpool as they inquired from Manchester United about Marcus Rashford. they inquired about the availability of Marcus Rashford and see if they can do a deal to see Rashford going to one of their biggest rivals, Liverpool. That was really a massive one coming in for Liverpool. Rashford going to that team is going to be a very huge rivalry. How will the fans take it is something we are waiting to see. But we also understand that Marcus Rashford is also his first priority is Barcelona, and there have been talks with Barcelona, with most people in the board agreeing, and especially the coach pushing for the move for Marcus Rashford. We understand that Luis Diaz bid from Barcelona has been rejected, also from Bayern Munich. So Barcelona, they are looking for an alternate position when it comes to wing, and Rashford is their main target as it stands. Okay, let's just move on now to another part of Manchester, but the blue part. We will hear rumor that Napoli have inquired about their goalkeeper Ederson, and that is going to be a massive one. If Napoli will be able to get Ederson, that shows Napoli they are really strong and they mean business. Recall that they've already gotten one of the best attacking midfielder in the world currently, the likes of Kevin the Brilliant, like I'll call him, Kevin De Bruyne. He's already in Napoli, and they are looking to get a very solid goalkeeper to see a defense of their title they won last season and see how they can progress. Maybe be very ambitious to win the UEFA Champions League. That would be a massive one for the Napolitan club, and that's a good one because of some of the top players they are missing. Also, yesterday we also heard that Chelsea also did they made an inquiry of Manchester United for Marcus Rashford, and this time he's talking about a swap deal from Nicholas Jackson to Manchester United, Marcus Rashford to Chelsea. Big, massive one we are hearing. Also, Chelsea also in talks with Manchester United to see how they can sign Garnacho and Jallo, and it's going to be a very good one. We understand that Garnacho has told his agent that he will not leave the Premier League for now. So everything, every target needs to come from the Premier League, and we understand that Chelsea might likely be his destination. He has already told Manchester United, along with the likes of Rashford, that yes, they want to leave the club, and they are only the agents are only trying to see how they can make some deals possible. And for Garnacho, Premier League is his priority. Okay, yes, we understand that Newcastle in looking forward to boost their attack, and they are talking with Aston Villa to inquire about the availability of our weekends, and it's going to be a very massive run for Liverpool, for Newcastle, if they can just get him as a backup striker. Hawkins did well at the beginning of last season, but as the season tends to finish, he tends to fizzle out. A good one for him. We understand that Sunderland has put a very concrete bid to sign former Arsenal player Granit Xhaka back at the Stadium of Light. The Blackouts have made a concrete bid to Bayer Leverkusen to see how they can get Granit Xhaka. We understand some few days ago that Xhaka had an agreement in principle with a club from Saudi Arabia that he might be joining them for about 2 seasons. But Sunderland, they are putting an ambitious bid to see the former Arsenal man back to the Premier League, back as the Black Cats are back in the Premier League. Okay, let's just go on. Timothy Weah, the son of one of the greatest footballer ever to grace the game, George Opangue. Timothy Weah, understand that Olympique Marseille, they are in talks with Juventus to see how they can take this forward from Juventus. But we understand that Juventus are holding back and they don't want to let him go. That is their stance at the moment. Ademola Lookman is also on the news, but we understand that Atletico de Madrid made an inquiry some few days ago, but Atletico de Madrid need to sell a forward player before they can sign him. But for Inter Milan, we understand that they have prepared a bid of around 40 million euros to see the current African Footballer of the Year, grew in the San Siro Stadium. Ademola Lookman, we understand, also is keen to make the move to the San Siro, the black and blue part of San Siro. We just continue because Atalanta uses the black and blue also. So I think it's just going to be a change of name for Ademola Lookman, but still enjoying good football. Okay, next we hear that Inter Milan also made an inquiry from Bayern Munich of the Portuguese midfielder Joao Palhinha. Also, we hear this morning, just a few minutes ago, that Arsenal has made a concrete bid also for this same player from Bayern Munich. I think he would prefer a move to Arsenal, considering the fact that Thomas Partey has left Arsenal after his contract expired, and I think this guy is going to be a massive one if Arsenal can just add him into their midfield. Fine player, I must confess. John Bakayoko has been in the news almost all through the summer, and now it's finally done. And we hear Premier League interest and Nottingham Forest and all of that. Borussia Dortmund, but he has finally signed for Red Bull Leipzig of Germany. The rumored fee is about 18 million euros with the add-on of 4 million euros. Big congratulations to this forward who is about 22 years of age now, and it's a very good one for him. Leipzig are also a very good team to develop young players, like their also basically Red Bull Salzburg. Yes, also we hear that the defensive midfielder have left Real Betis, and now he's going to Athletic Club de Madrid. We hear that Johnny Cardoso have completed his move from Real Betis to Atletico Club de Madrid for a fee of 24 million euros and add-ons of 5 million euros. Yes, that is what we got from the 23 years old defensive midfielder. Yes, also a done deal for West Ham has they signed another guy from Resta Belgrade. This will make it the top player they've signed now for Resta Belgrade. We recall Thomas Chak was signed from there, and Vendema Cafu was also signed from Resta Belgrade by West Ham United, and that is also another one they've signed now. El Haji Melek Diop has completed a move from Resta Belgrade to West Ham, and the fee is reported to be 22 million euros with the add-on of 4 million euros. That's a very massive one. We hear one-time former Manchester United prodigy Joshua King has now moved to Saudi Arabia, and he is now there for a 2-year contract, and he has moved to Al Khalifa, and that is a very big move for him and very massive one also. Also, we hear that the deal between Napoli and Nunez has collapsed because Liverpool has come out to say that Napoli did not meet the financial expectation, the financial valuation as they have valued Darwin Nunez. So the Uruguayan will not be moving to Napoli. I will not be seeing another Uruguayan there, as we saw with Edison Cavani leading the attack. So, but we understand that Nunez wants to leave Anfield, and it's going to be a massive one. Let's just see how it goes with him. Also, we understand that Nicolas Pepe has signed a 2-year contract extension with Villarreal, and that is also a massive one. We ended up this morning with the one they call Alexander Isak. We hear that Liverpool want to splash the transfer record for him, about 130 million, and Newcastle are demanding, and we hear that Liverpool are bidding close to that amount. So that's how time will permit us to go this morning as on Sports Update. Like I always say, every champion started as an amateur. Start where you are. You have greatness within you. AJ Sports says so. Bye for now.
It's 5:30 8, and this is the news bit. The Federal Executive Council will this Thursday hold a special session to honor the late former President Muhammadu Buhari. A special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, disclosed this in a statement via his official X handle on Wednesday. The presidential spokesman stated that the session will be presided over by President Tinubu. The announcement comes after the regular FEC meeting scheduled for Monday was postponed to allow President and members of his cabinet to attend Buhari's burial in Douala in Katsina State. Inflation for June 2025 moderated to 22.22% compared to the May 2025 headline inflation rate of 22.97%. This was disclosed by the National Bureau of Statistics on Wednesday. According to the latest Consumer Price Index report released by the Bureau, the year-on-year figure reflects a 0.75 percentage point decline from the previous month and a significant 11.97 percentage point drop when compared to June 2024, which recorded an inflation rate of 34.19%. The decline in annual inflation has been recorded against the backdrop of a rebased index, with 2024 as the new base year. On a month-to-month basis, inflation rose significantly, or slightly rather, to 1.68% in June, compared to 1.53% in May, suggesting that while the pace of price increases is slowly on an annual basis, prices are still rising faster from one month to the next. The Consumer Price Index rose from 121.4 in May to 123.4 in June, indicating persistent price pressures, especially in food, transport, and housing. Though the food inflation rate stood at 21.97% year-on-year in June, a sharp drop from 40.87% recorded in June 2024. Still in the news, the federal government on Wednesday forecast potential flooding in 38 locations across 11 states. It warned that heavy rainfall from Wednesday, July 16 to Sunday, July 20, 2025 could trigger flooding in 11 states. The alert issued by the Federal Ministry of Environment through the National Flood Early Warning Center under the Erosion, Flood and Coastal Zone Management Department was signed by the Director of the Department, Usman Bukhani. States expected to be affected by the prediction include Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Borno, Auchi, Plateau, Yobe, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Cross River, and Zamfara. Earlier, the federal government initiated the establishment of the National Flood Insurance Policy on a proactive measure to address Nigeria's growing vulnerability to flood disasters, and during the opening of the Technical Committee meeting on the development of National Flood Insurance Policy and Implementation Framework in Abuja. In June, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Environment, Muhammad Kambari, described the rise of flood incident across the country as a national emergency that demands immediate and decisive action. And with that concludes the news bit for 8:30. Good morning.
Exciting news, EBS, terrestrial, 45 UHF. Feel free to fine-tune your television. All our quality programs. Thank you for your patience. Coming back. Double up. And R&B. 7 FM.
Yo, what's going on? This is Jersey Joe.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, what's up? This is Ludacris.
What's up, y'all? This is Nicki Minaj. Hey, I'm Ariana Grande. Yo, this is Cardi B. What's up? It's Megan Thee Stallion.
Now listening to 95.7 FM, the Star Station.
plenty of Nigerians are winning big, and you could be next. You don't even need to call MTN to claim your prize. If you're a winner, they're going to call or text you directly. So keep an eye on your phone because your number could make you richer. Every weekday at 7 p.m, lots of Nigerians are getting a chance to win with prizes up to 5 million naira daily and 10 million naira weekly, and plenty of other cash prizes. Anyone, just anyone, could be the next winner. To join, simply dial star 900 # star 900 # on your MTN line, then ever recharge of 100 naira or more will earn you more points and boost your chances to win at 7 p.m, which is yellow or plug. And if you don't have an MTN line, well, you should go out and buy yours ASAP because this promo won't wait for you. But I'm actually talking and recharging my phone because it's almost 5 p.m, and that is when the stop counting points for the day. But no worries, if you recharge after 5 p.m, those points will count towards your chances for the next day. So don't miss out on your opportunity to win big and better on the MTN Mega Billion promo. And this offer will run through till the 21st of September. So go make a difference with your recharge today, and you might just win big at the MTN Mega Billion promo. Terms and conditions apply. Visit MTN.ng for more details.